SwoleBenji here. Today I'm going to vent a bit and use this as a platform to talk with you guys about things I hate in WoW Classic. Since most forums and communities are pretty dead, hit up the comments and let's discuss what you hate about WoW Classic. I'll be listing my 7 most hated things in no particular order. Some of you guys might agree with me, most of you might find crazy what I hate, but regardless, on with the list. If you agree or feel the same way, please smash the like button and watch the whole video. It helps out way more than you can imagine. If you want to continue the discussion or even drop some dosh, links are in the description for a donation and Discord. Thanks. Gatekeeping. What do I mean by that? Well, it's got quite a big reach. Gatekeeping is when other players, be it guilds or individuals, allow or prevent certain aspects of the game. Just to list them off in no order, people tend to gatekeep by being the owners of certain communities, like your realm's Discord and subreddit. These guys can freely allow and disallow anything they see fit to fit their own desires. Someone ninja loot from the subreddit admins guild and you wanted to make a post about it? Banned. Someone talk crap about the Discord admins scamming people in a death row gambling game? Banned. Not only that, but gatekeeping inside the video game, but with things that aren't part of the playability part of the game. Like, I'm okay with the Devil Sar Mafia, because that's a group effort to control a zone. I'm not okay with things like people owning the world chat, or using their guilds to mass right-click report someone to get them muted who's outing their guild as ninja looters. I find that this time around, guild-based gatekeeping is far less controlling than it was in vanilla. Back in vanilla, if you didn't apply on a guild website, do several Ventrilo interviews, do your absolute best on the damage meters, and literally donate to the guild bank, you would never get to see Blackwing Lair, let alone Molten Core on smaller populated servers. This time around, guilds aren't going full stop anymore, and it seems to be far easier to get to experience the content, so that's nice. Heck, in vanilla, I had to buy all the raid gear, but even still, one of the major setbacks is that all the gatekeeping still plagues this game. I really hate it. Heck, some of the lesser guilds that I was in were absolute thought policemen who would bar you from content if you didn't have the same worldly view on subjects like politics or religion or just day-to-day things. Parses, logs, and parsing. Some people only play to try to get the quickest clear times, the best score, the competitive clear times. I get it, it's a goal you want to push to better your play as a gamer. I'm not with the majority on this, but I think it ruins the spirit of the game, the fun, and the whole point of raiding. Raiding, to me, is just a means to an end to acquire gear to use out in the world or in battlegrounds. The only reason I show up to kill the AI's scripted, programmed, non-player character dragon is to equip its loot so that I can be more efficient at ganking out in the wild. That's it. That's the only reason I bother raiding. Now, my major gripe with logs is that it is basically Randall from Recess. You know, that tattletale kid with the notepad that yells at the teacher anytime someone does something wrong? That's Warcraft logs. Oh, you missed your slice and dice for 5 seconds? You forgot to drink a mongoose potion for this fight after 5 wipes? It basically shows you any imperfections you might have, which is fine if you want to be some sort of perfect robot raider A+ honor roll student tryhard mega competitor. But what it really does is change the way people look and play the game for the worse. I worked retail for over 13 years, supermarket retail. I had to look at all sorts of data, everything from how long customers spent in the produce section to the accuracy of the price tags, price fluctuations of gas, budgets earned, labor accuracy, cashier checkout wait time, and all sorts of metrics. All these Warcraft logs do is give me supermarket retail PTSD. Which would you rather be in? And be honest in the comments. Don't you dare comment what you think will earn you a heart. I read all the comments. Would you rather be in a chill guild where everyone is cool, friends, having a fun time, talking about whatever interests you have over voice chat, not having any pressure to spend literal hours getting world buffs, logging it out for days on end just to be optimal at parsing, a guild where everyone gets together a few times a week to kick back, relax, and just kill stuff for loot? Or would you rather be in the super pro gamer guild where you hear clear comms in your ear constantly, no one has fun, your blood pressure and stress constantly rise from getting chewed out that you didn't cut the corner at a perfect angle, that your DPS isn't above 1,000. A guild where you have to spend hundreds of gold on consumables, do the most optimal robotic song and dance on every boss with the most optimal mathematical items that you may not even like, with a spec that only helps you kill bosses slightly faster and makes you a floor mat to other players, having to spend countless hours gathering every single minor little buff only to shave off 20 minutes of actual raid time? I guarantee you, in 10 years, you might remember your parses, but you won't remember your soulless comrades because you never got to even be social with them. Or you can make absolutely the most based friends ever and grow to play other games with them due to the hilarious banter or the kinship you share over fond memories of Diablo 2 or something of the sort. Parses also make people drop their guild because they feel held back by threat generation or lower parsing players who aren't carrying the weight. I get that, but I think if all of you chase is some arbitrary goal on a spreadsheet, you're missing the bigger picture. I think the game would be more fun without parsing and logs. Ignorance can be bliss if everyone shares in it. I really hate artificial stressors from companies and video games. I think parses and corporate tracking is one and the same. Add-ons and script commands. Now don't get me wrong, but I strongly believe the add-ons in Classic compared to Vanilla heavily influence the game and how it's viewed and played. From talking to people that don't really play or thought about playing, add-ons ruined it for them. To them, it felt like a cheat code, that the base game was unplayable without them. I strongly hate games where just installing and playing is the most unoptimized way to play. Think about other games like Counter-Strike or most Steam games. They all require some janky in-house pro gamer knowledge. Examples are Dead by Daylight. Forcing your frame rate by editing a config file down to 50 FPS allows you to spin much faster around killers than you normally could. In Dota 2, there's a config command that helps with such things as like right-clicking to deny creeps, which is a huge part of the game. WoW is no different. That you don't have the game-winning add-ons, that you are just a second-rate gamer. Not even that, but private add-ons like the ones that time Black Lotus and show you exact positions of spawns, those EVE Online gamers on Whitemane that used private tracker add-ons to basically map hack and see other players' positions from way outside render distance, and other private add-ons. Heck, in Cataclysm, I coded a private add-on to mass guild invite everyone on the server at all times and automatically derank guild message spammers, guild kick inactives, and more. This add-on let me lead one of the most successful and largest guilds on Tichondrius back in the day. Without that add-on, or without many add-ons, people just wouldn't be able to play. The current version of the game, as well as Classic, add-ons play the game for you. Do you remember back in Vanilla when add-ons were just little small cosmetic changes that didn't really have much impact? No tattletale add-ons like damage meters, no deadly boss mods telling you to run away, little girl, warning you about whelps and other such things. What do I see when I log in? Add-ons that tell me exactly when world drops are available. There are add-ons that tell you what layer you're in. Add-ons for managing dungeon grinding. It's nauseating and I hate this aspect of the game. Would the game be better off with no add-ons? No, but at least make the add-ons like they were in early vanilla. Remember the spy add-on? That thing ruined rogues for world PvP for the longest time. I'd stealth outside of render distance and people would instantly zero me out and AoE where I had entered stealth. It was stupid. The meta. What is the meta? Gee, I don't know. It's whatever the YouTubers and websites on the first page of Google says it is. What's that? You're a fresh level 60? You don't have your full pre-bis set that the popular pre-bis website says you need? Sorry, you're not allowed to dare enter our raid. What's that? You gotta bend the knee and give tanks all of your drops for an 8% chance at a drop in a 10-man dungeon that takes over 1 hour to clear, and you'll do it 86 runs before seeing it drop, only for a hunter to ninja loot it? There are lots of things that are meta in this game. Everything from your talents to your gear to the strategy you use to kill bosses, to the pathway you decide to take when doing a dungeon gold farm. Yes, that's right. How dare you make a video showing off a gold farm where everyone, their mom, your dad, his boyfriend, your dog, all know that you should take the other path down the hall instead of walking around, even if it costs you a chance at death and several vanish powders so you only save 20 seconds. Playing the meta is one of the most cancerous things in all of video games, even more so than dude bro gamers and their sister equals. Remember Overwatch before the forced meta? Do you remember League of Legends before the meta? Do you remember Warcraft Vanilla before the meta? StarCraft, Age of Empires, Command & Conquer? The meta consumes all, and leaves nothing but no fun allowed zombies who henpeck you and force... Fuck it up. They henpeck you for doing your own thing. I'm not re-editing. I'm not re-recording this now. Yeah, I get it. Some math nerd or outgoing Chad lad told you that if you just do it a certain way, it's most beneficial, and that you should only do it that way. I understand not wanting a raid full of enhancement shaman and ret pallies, but at the same time, a mage decked out in full of the eagle gear is only slightly less effective than a full pre-bis mage. Just chill out and do the damn raid and stop caring. One example of my own influence, I keep cracking up. One example of my own influence was the grinding video. I got countless comments of people telling me that they were having a hard time finding basilisks in Desolace. I simply mentioned that they were the best thing to kill for gold earnings, not that they were the only thing you should kill. So what ended up happening was that everyone would clear the basilisks and then they would respawn as vultures or scorpions, and the entire zone would be completely empty of basilisks. I understand not wanting to waste time and just wanting to be efficient at all the working parts, but when I want to run behind people and just spam backstab and see big numbers in a random Warsong Gulch that doesn't fucking matter, but people want to see me do frame perfect stuns into flawless PvP rotations all the time and expect it to be done because it's the #1 way to play, it seems soulless and robotic. What sucks is the meta can be paired with other things on this list, like gatekeeping or add-ons, and it just double sucks. People in my Discord, comments, whispers, keep fretting about their talent points to min-max their DPS. In the end, it doesn't really make much of a difference if you put them into murder or the one that restores energy when you use a finisher. Just pick one and go for it. Stop overthinking these things. Like when you guys play a single player game or an open-ended game, do you frantically Google exactly the best in-slot optimal build and make combinations of crap? Can you imagine trying to play a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake like that? Oh no, I gotta use my fire magnify on this part of the game so I can shave a whole minute off my game time. No, I didn't crit at the exact frame of the monster turning its back. No, just stop. Just stop it, man. The meta ruins video games. Some of the things I did for fun in League of Legends ended up becoming the meta, but only because some famous or high-ranked players ended up doing it too. Like, stop being sheep, stop being NPCs, just play the game however the fuck you want and don't worry about anyone else's opinion, okay? Consumables. This is a very minor gripe, but this is basically gold flexing on poor players. If I truly wanted to, I could just free action potion every time a mage rooted me, and they can't really do much about it. Yeah, it'd cost me 4 gold, but it'd let me win, right? Oh wait, they can use that potion that makes them immune to damage, turns them into stone, or whatever. Consumables in this regard really hurt Korean MMOs more than they do in Warcraft, but it still feels the same. Anyone ever played the original Arcage? I knew a streamer who went full whale, as known as, aka pay to win, where he item shopped every buff he could, stacked them all to the point where he could auto attack bow shoot a player in the game from 100% to 0 in just a few seconds. Was he having fun? Definitely. Did it cost him? Yeah, it cost him $400. That's a really expensive dopamine hit. WoW is it too much different? Want to absolutely destroy your opponent, raid boss, or farm session? Just pop a ton of consumables. Sure, it can be entertaining entertaining watching a full rank 14 warrior with a heal squad and full buffs just obliterate everything, right? But it's not something I enjoy playing with or against. Imagine thistle-teeing, potioning, root tubering, flasking, reflecting, and want every single time you encounter someone. Oh no, there's a warlock ahead. I'd better pop a greater shadow protection potion before I fight him. I see PvP videos from private servers where this was the standard. In my opinion, if someone living actions a cheap shot, I just cost them 5 gold, and even if they kill me, I still technically won in my mind because I just wasted their time. 5 gold worth of time. Even if they have thousands of gold, 5 gold just to save a 2-minute corpse run is never worth it. My problem with consumables is because they are in the game, they are expected to be used. Trash and Blackwing layer that stuns you, raid lead calls you to use a free action potion every time. The fucking repair cost is cheaper than the damn potion. Screw consumables. Don't get me started on the really overpowered ones like sleep powder. You're gonna spend hours only getting 3 or 4 of those. Anyone can win any fight with those. And for those that don't know, it's from the Dust Devils in Westfall. They have a sleep powder that they can drop. Boosting. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a super fast and efficient way to level, but it really ruins the world. Players can go from level 1 to 60 in less than 2 days from dungeon boosts. No work required, just pay gold with your mains bankroll, or if you're on a new server, players just buy gold and pay mages to blow up dungeons. Sounds pretty nice, right? Getting a quick ride to 60, decent dungeon blues and greens, and perfectly safe from the enemy faction, right? I hate it for these exact reasons. For one, it's a rich player perk. Only the wealthy gets the privilege of having fast boosts. It also empties the world. No one quests or grinds anymore, so there's never anyone to gank or fight over territory. If you're on a new server and don't buy gold, you have to level the poor old-fashioned way, so that level 21 shaman you just met and hit off earlier is already level 55 by the next day while you're barely level 30. I am totally fine with mages blowing up dungeons for profit. That part I have no gripe against. But Blizzard really should have done something to prevent the experience from being worthwhile if a higher level does all the work. It wasn't like this in vanilla. I know I played a mage as my first character and people still got experience, but it was like 1/5 of what they get today. Maybe I'm just salty because I've been mostly leveling a hunter the old-fashioned way on Fair Lena with some free carries from awesome bros along the way. The world is just so damned empty. Over 50% of players are getting boosted. It wasn't like this in vanilla. Bad players and non-gamers. Yeah, this one's on everyone's list, but I want to rant about it for a bit. I don't expect people to play perfectly with the best possible parses, world buffs, frame perfect ability rotations, perfect positioning, or anything of the sort. Not at all. If anything, having an entire guild play like that would make it really boring. No, when I say bad players, I'm talking about the absolute worst. I once did a Marathon where the tank never used any abilities. I'm not even joking. I think I live streamed it a long time ago, so it's somewhere on this channel. This warrior literally face-pulled, no ranged attack, no charge, no anything. She, and yes, it was a she, would walk up to the mob and right-click it. And that was it. No taunts, no heroic strikes, just right-click auto-attack. The dungeon took hours and many wipes. Believe it or not, someone from that dungeon who watched the stream griped me out for how negative I was being on my stream. Like, dude, are you for real? Stop simping. Anyway, even lesser cases where the main tank just range pulls mobs they are 100% safe to charge. Charge generates rage, you know? Rage, which lets you dump abilities to hold threat better. I've seen the worst of the worst, man, and vanilla heavily had this problem due to the normie infestation. People that have no business playing video games all swarmed the game to get their Lord of the Rings fantasy on. Complete non-gamers who had never touched a keyboard in their life played. I still see it today. People who have no business even playing video games at all, like mothers who have children that need their attention, abusive, neglectful husbands, and withered young adults who never even get to hold a girl's hand. Ever have a healer go AFK for 10 minutes to feed her child? Why would we put up with this crap? Why should we ever have a warrior tank that keyboard turns, clicks their auto shoot button, and does maybe one sunder and doesn't know how to turn the mobs back to the melee? Dude bro gamers, you know, the Call of Duty audience, who just want to get completely wasted on 9 different types of drugs and alcohol, then think they are elite gamers trying to do a dungeon as they are piss drunk and super drugged. There's a clip in a previous video of me hassling a Discord while they do Onyxia. The only healer left left alive, who is the guildmaster, goes AFK so she can ban me, causing the raid to wipe. I mean, it's funny, but some gamers let their emotions dictate their gaming ability, and it just hurts everybody. Speaking of emotions, guys can have this problem too. There are some very insecure guys. Like, I had this dude just yesterday go full dox mode on me because I was ganking his alliance alt. He had a full-blown mental breakdown because I wouldn't let his level 29 rogue live, and he just went full trenchcoat mode over whispers with his horde main. He actually succeeded too, but since I live in a van, there wasn't anything he could really do. I also wrote Rawful in my script. I don't know how to... Even if he had pressed further, I got like 3 stand-ins willing to eat a SWAT visit for me, whose addresses I use for my mail and when I sign up for things that require a home address. Sort out your life before you play Vidya, guys, and please learn to play. It's a 15-year-old game. Don't be the tank that only auto-attacks. How in the heck did she even get to level 40 by only auto-attacking? And why would people white knight that kind of gameplay? It boggles my mind. Alright, that's it. 7 things I hate about WoW Classic. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? If you haven't already, give this video a like. If you want to keep this discussion up, hit up the SwoleBenji Discord or leave a comment. I'm really looking for awesome gamers to play other games with, as well as people on Scarum or Fairlina Horde side that want to do things. If you're feeling generous and you want to see newer games on this channel, like Rust or Tarkov, then there's a donation link that'll help me get a new PC. As always, be a bro and stay swole. I know that's hard to do since gyms are kinda shut down at the moment and all, but they'll reopen one day, right?